So the supplies you would need is measuring tape, yardstick, whatever, ruler, whatever you have. I have 2 clamps there. I have a regular knife there, and I have a carpet cutter. You can either use the regular knife or the carpet cutter. I prefer the regular knife, but I just put the carpet cutter there to show you that you can use that as well. I have a marker to mark off my measurements. I have a screwdriver because the parts that we're about to use, I have the slip one. I don't have the thread, because you can buy them threaded to thread, or you can buy them to slip on. So I have the slip on parts, and you could just take that with a screwdriver once you put it on. If you want to just tap it back off, that helps you tap it back off. Okay, so the first item next to the screwdriver are called plugs. These are all in the PVC aisle in your local Lowe's or Home Depot. So these are called plugs, and if you look at them, the bottom are sealed, and then as a whole, these are called T's. This part is called elbows. These are either 3-ways, or I think they call them Schedule 40s. I call them 3-ways. These are adapters, and these are flasks. Now the flasks and adapters I'm not going to use, but it was just another option that you can do if you want Sorry about that. If you want a better footing, you can always screw the adapter down into the flask to give you a more heavy bottom. But I'm not going to use them for this particular one. I just wanted to show you these 2 items. So the flask is maybe around about $4 a piece. But all these other PVC parts, the white parts, they are between 48 cents and $1.99. So different ones, there's a different price range within them, but they don't cost that much. So for this project, you're going to need 4 3-ways, 2 elbows, 2 T's, and 2 plugs. You're also going to need PVC pipe. So I bought 4 PVC pipes, and what I did was I cut 4 pieces of 40 inches, and I cut 2 pieces of 65 inches, because when I measured from the wall, because you're going to take the measure tape and you're going to measure from the wall out. So however far you want it to come out, like if you have a desk, you would go from the wall to the end of your desk. And so with her area, I wanted it to come out away from the wall 40 inches. And then across, I wanted it to be 65 inches. And then, of course, going back to the wall on the other side, that's 40 inches too. So that's why I have the 4 40-inch poles and the 2 65 inches to give me all the area that I need. Also, you see the pink and white fabric right there, because I was looking for a fabric that's on sale. So when you go on Joann Fabric and you're making this, you can go in the back where they have the fabric that's already discounted, and then sometimes Joann Fabrics will have an extra discount. So let's say they're having a week where they're giving an extra discount. If the fabric is already 50% off and they give an extra 30% off, then the fabric is 80% off. So you find some back there that's already 50, 60, and 70% off. But I like to go and see what I could find when they have that extra sale. So you're almost getting the fabric for nothing. So that's why I said this can be a really cheap project, because the PVC pipes are they're 10 feet, and they are 245, 238, and 314. If you get the 1 inch, the more inches you get, the more they cost. So this is a 1/2 inch. the 3/4 inch was this. Half an inch was $2.40. The 3/4 inch was still less than $3, but the 1 inch is $3.14. And so you just get the 10-foot poles, and like I said, you can take a knife and you just cut in. You take the knife and you just cut into it, and you don't even have to go all the way through. You can just go part the way through, and then you can just bend it, and it comes right off. So it's really easy to cut the PVC, so that's why I got it. Sometimes if you know your measurements, the store will cut it for you, but me, I like to double check, so I bring it home and I cut it myself. I do the same thing with wood. I might get it cut down to a certain amount, but I don't get it cut exact, just in case I change my mind about what I want to do with the wood. So let's begin this project. One other thing I forgot, I also cut 2 PVC pipes in half, and I have 4 5-foot as well. So altogether I have 4 40 inches, 2 65 inches, and 4 5-foot pieces. The 5-foot pieces are the corners, the corners. The 65 and the 40 are to go in between to give it sturdiness, to be able to just stand up. And like I said, you can take this apart, you can put it together, you can move it around, you can do whatever you want to do with it, but it's going to give you a section off privacy area that's just reasonable and convenient. So I want to apologize. You're also going to need pins, stick pins, a needle and thread, or sewing machine, or fabric glue. You can use any of those things because you're going to need to prepare the fabric. So what I did to prepare my fabric, like I said, I started this before I thought about sharing it. So mine is already stitched. But I took the pole and set it, the PVC, and set it there. Then I rolled over just to give me enough that the PVC would go through. I moved the PVC, and I knew how much fabric I needed. And then I just pinned it. And I pinned it all the way down. And then I stitched it. And then after I stitch it, I have the slats for my pole. And the pole will go right down in there. And so when you start out, your first pole will go at the end of your fabric. So that's why you see this one. This one is at the very end. And this one, you just measure the PVC and you do this one. So this is your first hole. So whatever you measured, if you measured 40 inches, you go 40 inches, and then you take the fabric and you can come in like this and pin and stitch, and then your hole will be on this side. But on my project, I wanted my holes to be on the other side, so I flipped it like this. I put the PVC in there like that. And then I got the amount, and then I moved it again, and I knew that's how much I had to stitch it. And then the loop is the hole is here. Or like I said, again, you can do it this way and have your holes, your columns in the inside, and then you'll have that crease right here. But I wanted that crease for me to be in the inside, because in the inside I'm gonna do some other things on this side. But having a crease like that will section the areas off for me for what I want to do, because I want to put things in the inside, but I want to section it off. So by having that crease in the inside, let me see if I can get it. By having that crease in the inside like that, I know on this side whatever I want to put, and then That's my lining and that side. So that's why I chose to go that way instead of the other way. So once you make your holes, you're gonna do the first one, and then whatever you measure from the wall, you're gonna do that one. Then you can go all the way on the other side of the fabric and do the end, and then measure however far you want to fall. So that at the end you should have 4 holes. So I just want to go over that one more time, and that is you go to this side of your fabric, you make your first area for your first pole. Whatever your measurement was away from the wall, you go that far and you make your second hole. Then you go all the way to the other side of your fabric and you make your first hole on that side, and whatever your measurement was from the wall, you make a second hole. That gives you 4 holes for your 4 5-inch poles, because most fabric is 60 inches wide. So you don't want, unless you want your longer poles, you can get longer poles and you could do more fabric, or you can just have it, the fabric up the top or just down the bottom and have extra pole. So there are, it would be up to your preference. But because she's just real little, a 5-inch area, 5-inch poles are really good because the fabric is only 5 inches. So that works really well. So then next, you just put the PVC pipe into the hole. And just slide it all over. And once you get it all the way through, now we're ready to begin using our PVC connectors. So the first thing, you could take the T's and connectors, the T's and the plugs, and push and do the other one, just like. And so you have your 2 corner feet. These 2 will go on the 2 ends, the farthest end and the nearest end. You're going to put the top pipe in this hole. Leave this hole available and put the top pipe into this pole. It's so easy. You just take, just put the pipe in and push. Just that easy. And that's that end. And I'm gonna go over and do the farthest end. And so those 2 are on. The next piece is we're going to take 2, out of 3 weights, and we're going to put them on the 2 middle pieces. And again, they just slide on, and you're going to slide them on using this way and leave these 2, the V2 available. So this end that you just did, you just work with one end. The end that you did would be the bottom. The end where you put the plugs into the T, that is your bottom area, because I'm using the plug as the foot, where you could use the flax as the foot. That gives a little bit more weight, but with this one, I'm using the plug to be my bottom foot for the end pieces. And then I can just put the pole, connecting poles. So I'm gonna put a 40-inch pole in here and connect it to the middle, and then I'll put the 65-inch pole between the two middle pieces, and then I'm going to put another 40-foot pole between the second middle and the end. So I'm gonna do that and show you how that looks. Trying to adjust the camera. I want you to be able to see how it's going. Take 165 and 2 quarters. This is my end, where I have the plug at, and I'm going to take a 40-inch that I cut, 40-inch PVC, and I'm just going to stick it in there. Sometimes it may be a little hard, so just push. And then you're going to take and put the 65-foot in. So let me tell you, when I went in the store, he gave me the wrong thing. So be sure when you go in the store, you get the right thing. I'll show y'all what I did to adjust this. And I'm glad that I had the adapters. What he gave me was a threaded side T. What you want to buy is a slip T, not a threaded T, because inside of here it has threads. You want a slip T. If you just plan on just sliding the poles in, it's important you get a slip T. But because I had the adapters, it worked out, because this is a slip inside, and I could just screw this adapter on there because I had the adapters available. It's still gonna work, because now I can now put my pole in there. And you just take and put your pole in the end. It just goes in just that easy. And then you can connect it to your first middle part. I'm gonna have to move it around because I don't have enough room. You hear me with this because I had to put some pieces onto the floor. Move it over, and I'm just gonna put the first piece into this end, the corner end, the T, and then put the next piece into the L, to the three-way, right here. on camera because of space. You're putting it together just like that. See how easy that is? It snaps right in. And you're going to do the next section with the 65 inch. So if possible, if you want to have help, but this is what the bottom half begins, the beginning of what it looks like when you complete the first steps that I mentioned. You'll see that it's standing up partly by itself. But again, we need to do the top. So here we go. So the top half is a little bit different. You're still going to put the 3 ways on the middle, on the center 2 pieces. The same way you put them on the center bottom pieces, you're going to put the 3 ways in the center. And the reason why that is, because I want to show you, because I wasn't able to show you, like I said, I had minimum space. But let me get something really quick. Here's a little piece of a PVC, and here's one of the 40 inches I'm just going to use as an example. So when you put the pieces onto, you're gonna take the piece on the 2 inner pieces, and you're gonna sit it down onto the pole like this, and it's gonna fit on the pole. And the reason why you're doing it on the centerpiece is because the centerpieces are actually the corner that's farthest away from the wall. So you're gonna have your T-joint. I'm gonna use this as a T-joint because I already put the T-joints on there. So you will have your T-joint sitting up like this on the, you have your T-joint sitting at like this at the bottom. And you're going to have your 3-way sitting down like this. And that's when you can take the pole and connect the 2. And that will be your side. Then also you're going to take, like I took my 40 inch and it went in like this. And then I was able to then take my 60 inch and have it go from from 3-way to 3-way. It fits there and it fits here. And that's how I had my 65 inch pole. And then I'm able to take the other 40 inch pole and put it in there and over to my other T. That's for the bottom. But now we're going to do the top. And the top is very, very similar. So for the top, instead of having T-joints, I have my 2 3-ways, and then I have my elbows. So one elbow goes on the end top that's near the wall, and this one goes on the end top also. So you're going to put it down on the pole facing the 3-way, and put this one down the pole facing 3-way, and then you're able to put your 40 inch, I'm able to put my 40 inch pole in them 2, like so, and then I'll put my 65 inch pole that way, and that's what makes your square. So that's what you're going to do on the top. On the bottom we use the T-joints because I wanted to put the plug in it to make it as my foot. And actually on the bottom also, where I have the 3-way, you see the 3-way sits up, so it's also a stable foot. But I didn't need a 3-way on, I could have used the elbow on the front, but you see the elbow is not as stable. The T is more stable, and I put the plug in it so it sits up. These elbows, they're not stable. That's why we're using them for the top, but we didn't use them for the bottom. We used a T, which makes it stable, because the T have a bottom like that side, and it made it stable. And we just turned the three-way that way. So now we're going to turn the three-way this way on top of the pole, and we can use these because we don't need it. It's not sitting on. We don't need it. It's not on the floor side. So if it's, you know, it's curved, it's fine. So this will be our top again. Put it on the end pole. Put it on the middle pole, the middle one, the end, and then you can put your poles, your PVC into them, like so, on this side, on that side, and then in the middle. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come and show you what it looked like. So here is your finished product. Your finished product. It goes like that, up, and then it goes over, just like, you know how when we used to go to the doctor and they used to put them things, just pull the thing around you. I just want to try to see if I can get a better view for y'all. Just give me a minute. I don't know how to do this. A little bit of space. Let me see if I get back any further. I'm going to give y'all a good view. So far, that's what I can do. That is the bottom, and that is the top. And then you have the sides. So I wanted to give you a better view of the finished product. And there you go. That is the finished product. Of course, like I said, there's some things I'm going to do with the inside. And I don't know whether I want to color the poles. This was like something that I thought of, and I'm very known at my area Home Depots and Lowe's for going in there, using their products for things that they weren't meant to be used for. But of course, you know, PVC is for plumbing, but you see, we have a great product, and I'm just gonna do some things on the other side of this, on the inside of this, to just make it really her really own personal classroom. So this is just to help all those out there that we're into this situation and we have to work from home and we have our children online and we still want our little bit of privacy. So she can be over here and I can come and sit with her, or her mom can come sit with her in here and just have that classroom, and everybody else in the household can just go about their normal doing without worrying about, oh, I done walked out the room and I forgot you was on school and I just got on my pajamas. You know, anything like that. You can still enjoy the privacy of your home and be in your home relaxing the way that we have to be right now, without having to always come out your room fully dressed, or always come out your room looking your best because your child is on school or your spouse is on computer at work and they have the cameras on and who knows who see what. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this project. I hope y'all enjoyed this project. Try it out. It really did not cost that much. For about $30, you can build this and have some privacy in your home. And if you want to spruce it up and get a 1-inch PVC instead of no more than $50, you can have this in your home. Whereas though when you go online, they're going to charge you $200, $300, and you can make it your own personal private area. So everyone, I hope you like this project and have a good night. We did it.